had somebody ask me this morning. They said, they didn't really say what's the key to happiness in your marriage, but they were asking me, how do you keep your marriage vibrant? How do you keep your marriage fresh, your marriage relationship with your wife? And they were talking about me in general because of the freshness in my marriage. My wife and I love each other very dearly, and I was expressing to the individual in the absence of my wife how much I love her. And they asked me, how do you keep things fresh? What do you, And I began to share with the individual that my wife and I have a calendar. I live by my calendar. Life gets out of whack for me without a calendar. And I find myself planning my life to some degree most of the time. If I've got meetings with people, I plan those meetings. If I've got to be in an appointment, I plan those appointments. And I put my wife on my calendar. Now, that doesn't mean that my wife needs an appointment to meet with me. What that means is that I deliberately block out time to spend with my wife to make sure that she is included in my life. Now, yes, there are many times, majority of the time, that my wife and I are spontaneous. We just, we'll wake up one morning and we don't have much going on and we're both off for the day or what have you. Say, hey, let's take a trip up to Orlando. Let's go get a hotel and stay overnight and we'll be back in the morning for work or whatever it is. We're very spontaneous. But what I'm saying is you've got to make sure that you spend time planning to spend time together. It is critically important. And this may not even just be for a husband and a wife. Maybe you're a father. You gotta plan your time for your children. You gotta make sure that you put your kids' baseball games and football games and hockey and soccer, whatever they do, their recitals. You gotta make sure, parent comfort night. You gotta make sure you put all that stuff on a calendar and block that time out so that nothing else interferes with that. Building relationship is important and it takes work. And it's the success in relationships, whether it's a marriage, a parental relationship, or whatever, it doesn't come by accident. It is very, very intentional. So I want to encourage you to block out time in your life. Begin to plan your life. Put those important things on your calendar. Make them part of your routine as it relates to making sure that you fit them in. Quit using excuses. Give up all your excuses. You should not have any excuses about why you couldn't get something done. If you plan your life right, you'll get it done. Now, granted, there are some things you just won't be able to accomplish that day, and that's what prioritizing comes in at. Putting your priorities first, doing what's important first. But by and large, it is very important that you put your family and your friends and those things that are important to you in life. Life is passing us by. You do not want to get older and have regrets that you didn't spend time with your children or your grandchildren or your spouse or whoever, your best friend. Perhaps you've got a best friend you hadn't seen in a couple of years and you're saying, well, I've been thinking about him and I need to call him. You need to call him. You need to quit making excuses and you need to call them. You don't know what tomorrow is going to hold. Do me a favor. Think about that.